During my adult life, lived in apartment buildings and smaller houses. So I gravitated towards smaller, tiny houses. Aaron and I were talking about the large misconception that bigger is often better in housing.
The scale of our housing is simply too large. We've gone for floor area over quality.
So the cutting is a 9 by 3 metre tiny house. It sits in the traditional lands of the Goodnidji Mara people. We're lucky enough to have it perched in these rolling hills of Illowa, overlooking these beautiful southwestern views of the coastline.
So it's quite a special location this building sits upon.
The biggest challenge was to put it on the back of a truck, make it transportable.
The building had to have quite a bit of height and you just simply couldn't transport that on the back of a truck. We were forced into come out with some clever ideas on how do we make this space kind of transform post-transportation. Murray Adams were able to devise this telescopic frame. You simply collapse the roof down, the walls of the building fold in like a set of wings, and then the building can be wound down for transportation and wound back up once you arrive on site.
This house is 30 metres squared, which is 6 times smaller than your average Aussie home. As soon as you arrive to the building, you walk over these bluestone pavers, up these concrete slabs. You scrape your dirty boots on this pig mesh and you walk through the pivot door and you enter the home. The space is quite compressed and you then walk further up a raised platform into this, what feels seemingly like an enormous volume of space. The raised platform in the lounge room was the perfect opportunity for storage underneath, but also a seat at the dining table. You've got this fireplace in the middle of the kitchen and lounge room. This glazing panel that juts out from the house, and it's almost as if you're sitting at the couch, feeling as if you're connected with nature a tiny bit more. The ladder folds out of the space so that you can actually sit at the dining table. The overhead storage components in the kitchen was a chance to have drying racks above the sink. And we have a beautiful spotted gum sliding door that helps reveal this hidden storage component behind, but also closes off the bathroom. It's got a glass splashback. You enter the bathroom and it feels like a sauna. We've got exposed copper pipes and storage component with plenty of room for all your laundry needs. And we've got this cheeky little corner table with a circular basin routed into it. Aaron came up with a nifty little idea to raise a corner of that triangle so that you can fit a hand towel underneath. The building is a split level with a office upstairs. You can sit on the mezzanine floor.
The way your feet kind of hang down in your living space is quite playful, and I think people really engage with things like that.
And the bedroom has everything that you'd expect. Plenty of storage. We've decided to put more storage underneath the bed. We've got these little tiny windows that help frame the view, these beautiful little compositions of.
So the material finishes are really important. I've had an obsession with the reclaimed, the repurposed and the salvaged from a very young age. I love the idea of choosing materials that most people thought were waste product and showing that it's actually got this inherent beauty and this look and finish and feel that can only be achieved through the passing of time. When you look around this building, we've got salvaged hardwood, we've got bluestone, we've got steel, we've got glass, concrete, and we've got Baltic pine. They're the only materials. And I think those material finishes are what make a space feel good. People are so obsessed internally with smooth finishes, but the contrast of raw material with quite refined finish really leaps out at people. And when you walk across the cobblestones, they're slightly uneven, they're textural underfoot. That's what makes them a great product.
We chose to go with like a dark colour palette in the walls because it complements these recycled elements, the oranges in the timbers, so much better than what a regular white wall situation would look like.
Got a love for the Australian shed. They look sympathetic in any sort of environment. And I think when you're designing small buildings, especially that are going to potentially be dotted out in a particular landscape, you want to have something that's sympathetic. And cladding the building in corrugated gal iron, there's nothing more shed-like than that sort of material finish. It also lets the timber detail of the windows punch out through the relatively mechanical nature of the iron, and also highlights the beautiful eave structure that juts out over. The building was designed to be completely off-grid, so this design can literally be plonked in any Australian landscape without the need to connect to mains, power, gas and water supply. We've got a solar system on the northern side of the roof with a lithium-ion battery and inverter setup.
It's a passive house. We have these horizontal panels that actually flap open, and that's really great because it coaxes those southwesterly winds up and out diagonally through the house.
The tank that we have sitting beside this building is around 7,500 litres.
If you reduce the size of a house, you're reducing the material needed, affecting the environmental impact.
That was important to us to make sure that it was versatile and was being built towards a future that we all think is necessary, which is a future that uses less. We both very strongly believe that the quality of housing design is simply too low for the masses in this country. People are forced to make huge compromises in design because of traditional building methods, traditional design and construct packages that you get through mass production. And we feel as though by operating in this smaller space, we can offer really good quality design to more people.
Robin Boyd suggested that good architecture should be accessible by all. And he set out by providing small house plans in the newspapers. It seems as if architecture is just a privilege that only the rich can afford to enjoy. So I think why not borrow from Robin's idea and create a more accessible, smaller home version.